Hello and a warm welcome to another edition of To The Point. At the recently held National Executive of the BJP at Allahabad, the party not only sounded the poll bugle for the 2017 Assembly elections, but also showed a mirror of sorts for Mission 2019. Is the road ahead going to be about development or Hindutva? Well, joining me now is the National Secretary of the BJP and also the spokesperson of the party, Sidharth Nath Singh. Welcome on To The Point. Sidharth, let me begin by asking you a very crucial question, especially when the National Executive has just got over and the picture looks a little hazy, and that is, what is the road ahead in the coming months? Is it only going to be development, or you're going to fight the election in other states also on various other planks?
Well, development will remain always the key issue.
Okay.
And certainly I think the National Executive, whether it was the speech of the President Amit Shah ji or of the Prime Minister in the public rally, the road ahead for UP was very well talked about, and certainly it is development, and that is something which is missing in Uttar Pradesh, be it the BSP government or be it the Samajwadi Party government. Development or good governance, which we call, is certainly missing, and that's where we are going to pitch ourselves, because that BJP, wherever in whichever state we have gone, we have been recognized and we have been re-elected because of our good governance and development issue.
But when it comes to a state like Uttar Pradesh, caste calculus also plays a very crucial factor. Will your party be away? Can it afford really to stay away from the caste factor?
Well, I think the narrative has changed over the years, and that too also in Uttar Pradesh. I won't really say that the narrative, the caste factor doesn't play at all, but I can only say is that the real narrative is good governance, the real narrative is development. So at the ground, yes, caste do matter in Uttar Pradesh, also large state like Uttar Pradesh, but when you talk about development, it overrules, and it overrides, I would say, overrides caste factor, religion factor, because the youngsters who are becoming the majority of the voters now in India and also in Uttar Pradesh, they are looking for opportunities for themselves to be employed.
So am I to understand that the narrative which is going to be followed by the party will be something which is going to be coupled with development along with the caste factor in UP?
I won't really again say, I won't get into the caste factor, because that's not what we are going to be looking at. Because there are Samajwadi Party, which is a casteist political party. They play on a particular caste, and similarly the Mayawati also, they play on the Dalit caste. But that's not going to be the BJP. BJP will be focusing on development and good governance. But yes, if within that we have a constituency and we can have a face which represents good governance or development, and he belongs to that caste, that's a separate issue. So we may select him for that.
But there are many observers and analysts who started saying that probably particularly for Uttar Pradesh, BJP has run out of ideas how to recapture power in this crucial state. And it's of course, you're going to talk about development, but it's something else which is going to be laced underneath.
I don't think so. If those who are political analysts who are making this comment on BJP, then certainly I feel they have really lost ground to the Uttar Pradesh now. Uttar Pradesh is now actually screaming for good governance and development.
I'll give you one instance. When your Uttar Pradesh state BJP president was appointed for the post, Mr. Maurya, he basically is a Kushwaha. And what was the compulsion of the party to really appoint him on that post?
Look, again,
because again the analysts say that they were looking at the Kurmi law.
That's a wrong way of doing an analysis. Keshav Maurya has started his career from a very grassroots level.
Right.
He became an MLA, then he becomes an MP, and then he takes the reins of the Uttar Pradesh. He is not somebody who's been just picked because he belongs to a caste. He's been a worker, he's been an MLA, he's been an MP, and therefore somebody who has gone this long channel can be picked up. Now he happens to be a Kushwaha coming from OBC, then it's not his fault.
So
somebody could have been a Brahmin or somebody could have been a caste or a Thakur, then people would have come, oh, BJP is playing the upper caste. So it's a wrong way of making analysis.
No, but party did give it a thought that, okay, a person like Mr. Maurya should be given the post.
I don't think that's the way. Okay, now what, we don't work that way, that we say, okay, this is the box. This box needs to be filled by OBC. Now we look around for an OBC and say, oh, let's have this OBC. We don't have anybody, let's have somebody. No, it's not the way. We look at the merit, and the merit is speaking about Keshav Maurya, which is that he has been a party grassroots worker. He's come up the ranks. He's become an MLA. He became a member of parliament. Let me put this in, from Phulpur, from where he won the election, he got 3.5 lakh votes.
But another way of looking at Mr. Maurya's appointment is the fact that he has been a hardcore VHP person who has espoused causes like cow protection. His activism in Kar Seva during the Ram Temple movement has been known. So many people would say that BJP is trying to enforce again a very Hindutva kind of an agenda.
But has he spoken anything which makes anybody to analyze in last month and a half or 2 months of his becoming the president? This is a propaganda which I wouldn't say all the media, but a section of media, the opposition wants to play. BJP will be contesting this election in Uttar Pradesh on the basis of development and governance, because that's the narrative which the voters want in Uttar Pradesh.
Obviously, if the party has to cater to the aspirational class and the growing middle class, the party has to talk about development. But the hardcore reality on the ground when we go, and I don't know whether you would agree with that or not, but you know, the local leaders also say that when parties like BJP come into the fray, they communalize the whole atmosphere, they polarize due to various reasons X, Y, Z. And so my question to you is that how are you really going to bring about a balancing act between the hardline and the moderate groups? How does the party do that?
Well, there's not going to be any hardline group or a moderate group. Whatever the Prime Minister has said, whatever my party president has said, is the line that which we are going to adopt, and they both have spoken one line, and that is of good governance and development. Now let me put this. When Samajwadi Party allows a cult to operate and capture a huge piece of land.
You're talking about the Mathura clashes.
Mathura. Now, and that goes on. There is a tacit support from the Samajwadi Party senior leadership. Now, why it was being given, and that because the person belonged to one particular caste, if we expose that other side, then there is a section who are not belonging to that caste. Still, as a spokesperson of the party, I am resisting using a caste's name also. Now, you try, the other side will polarize. It is bound to happen in politics. Now, somebody, if because of the anti-social element.
Mathura, of course, was not given so much a communal color, but what about what is happening in Kairana? I mean, it was totally given a communal slant.
No, why? We never said a communal word about it. What we kept on saying is, and that's a reality in Western Uttar Pradesh, there is anti-social elements which are playing. Now, if they belong to one caste or one religion, and they are the anti-social, the police looks the other way. Now, why does the police look the other way? Why doesn't the police act? Because there is a kind of a message from the Samajwadi Party government that if they belong to that caste or that religion and they are doing something which is anti-social, please do not book them. Now, if that we are exposing, and there are the families which happens to be Hindus and they are leaving Kairana or Western Uttar Pradesh because they don't want the threat to their family or to their business or to their children, particularly girls, then what do? You expose them. When you expose, it cannot be looked the other way.
Your point taken, Sidharth, but my question is that does it not provoke the section of the media as well as the opposition and all the leaders who say when a BJP MP like Hukum Dev Singh, he goes and says that, you know, it's almost a situation like what Kashmir faced in the 1990s. But that's a very hyperbolic statement which he's making. But why
doesn't the media, the same media, and those who are making analysis talk about a situation in India which is an independent India, where in a state, because of the actions of the government of the day, the people are leaving. that particular village or particular town. I think that is something which the media should be exposing rather than questioning us. Let's presume, let's say we don't play, we don't even say anything, we allow this to happen. Are we not being questioned then by the media? Why you are keeping quiet? Why your MP or MLA did not raise it? This something has happened. Why?
No, there's definitely a law and order situation where people don't have jobs. People are leaving the place because of all the goons who are operating in that area. That's a fact. But again, a very communal slant is being given. You know, when a BJP MLA called Sangeet Som, he walks up and conducts yatra into that area, and he gives an ultimatum to the Samajwadi Party government. He says that no, you have to bring back those families within 15 days.
Let's not stress what Sangeet Som. He has a constituency of his own.
But he's a BJP MLA.
That's fair enough. He has a constituency of his own to address also. And as a politician, as a MLA of that particular area of Western UP, coming from Western UP, he is making a case out of it, a political case out of it, and highlighting that this is something which is happening.
But if
he doesn't go. You know, once he is being told by the president of the state, Keshav Maurya, okay, whom you initially referred to be in OBC and belonging. That's why he made a request and said the party's line is that you will not go ahead and you will surrender at Meerut when you start walking. So he was asked by the police, and he surrendered. He didn't make into a kind of a crisis where his workers or his supporters fought with the local police.
But he's giving bites to the local, the various channels of the media, saying that he has given an ultimatum. So is it not a bit to keep the issue alive about the Hindu exodus from the villages? And
but why people don't understand one particular thing is that there is a reality which is happening on the ground. Now, if that is a reality and it just happens that the Hindus are leaving that area like Kairana or Western UP, isn't that bothering rather than what Sangeet Som or anybody is saying? What matters is what is the line of the state president? Is the state president saying something different which is communal? Is the spokesperson of the party saying anything which is communal? The party president is saying anything which is communal? Neither Sangeet Som is saying anything, but yes, he is addressing to his constituency from where he belongs. He is not saying that it's a Hindu versus Muslim. If Hindus are being thrown out, let's throw out the Muslims also. He's not using any language like that. Rather than putting Sangeet Som or anybody Hukum Singh on a block, I think it's a time that we have to look why this is happening and why Samajwadi Party is allowing this to happen.
Absolutely, point taken. But why does an impression come, and from which quarter has this impression come that it's all about the Hindu exodus, or it's about a communal slant? Who's saying this? Are you slamming the opposition?
No, I'll tell you what. There are 300 odd families who have left that place, and in that 300 odd families who have left that place, 90% belongs to Vyas community,
okay,
the trader community, and they become Hindu. Now, once you have that list, you immediately, the great political analysts, they look at it and they say, oh, it's the Hindu versus the Muslims. Now, there is a reality when you turn around in Uttar Pradesh which I said that anti-social elements belonging to a political caste or a political religion, the police doesn't allow police is not allowed the law to take its own course on them, and therefore they go scot-free, and the terror is perpetrated on those who are innocent.
Whatever the reality is, another reality is the fact that all the political parties, including the Samajwadis, the BSP, all the parties who are there, they are encashing on that situation, and everybody is having their own share of pie.
Well, I disagree to this. At least as far as the BJP is concerned, we have stuck to a cause, and the issue is that in
Mayawati recently said that there is a tacit understanding between BJP and
okay. These are political rhetorics. I will, when we are talking on an issue which is a national issue, which should bother everybody, particularly to the people who are coming from UP.
So which means that out of Kairana, you're going to make it into a bigger, maybe an employment issue or a law and order problem? Is that how you understand Kairana?
We are already raising the issue that it relates to lawlessness, it relates to unemployment in that region, and a kind of an appeasement which this Samajwadi Party government is following towards a caste and a particular religion.
Okay. Moving away now from the Kairana and coming back to the larger strategy of the BJP, many also feel that your party is following a two-pronged strategy. What we saw recently again at the National Executive, Modi ji spoke about development, the larger development and the reforms agenda, but Amit Shah stating the Kairana issue to the extent that the National Human Rights Commission, sent a notice to the Samajwadi Party government. Again, I'm not going into the detail of that particular thing, but the fact is that, is it going to be a two-pronged strategy that A, raises the development and B, tries to communally polarize
again,
the situation?
I will not accept the word communally. If somebody is raising an issue of Mathura or Kairana, now, and that is happening because there is a law and order situation, it cannot be communal.
But that situations can go out of hand. What we
Well,
saw in
that's a-
2013 during the Muzaffarnagar riots.
Again, the government of the day is responsible for the law and order, not the opposition party. The law and order is the responsibility of the Samajwadi Party. Now, if an issue has come up in public domain which relates to exodus of people staying in Kairana or Western UP and they happen to be Hindus, then if we are raising because of the law and order situation, cannot be called communal. So I object to that. And at the same time, both, whether it is the party president and the Prime Minister Modi ji, they both are talking about development in Uttar Pradesh, and that remains a key focus during the elections.
Coming to another challenge, I would call, which the BJP is facing, and that is of the faces. Now, senior leaders like Kairana Singh, Rajnath Singh, they are all supposed to be in their sunset years, even though Rajnath ji is a home minister and he's duly operating
Certainly
within
not
the
Rajnath
government.
I wouldn't agree there.
But who is going to be the chief ministerial candidate of Uttar Pradesh?
Well, I think, you see, when you look at political parties like Samajwadi Party and BSP, it's very simple for them to pick up because they follow a family or a personality. So it's easy for them, and so they don't need to debate. In our systems where we are a large party, yes, we do have certain tall names coming from Uttar Pradesh like Rajnath ji or Kalraj Mishra or anybody else can be there. And but at the same time, the decision cannot be, it's not so easily taken if you're not on a seat and you're driving there.
But your decision was very easy when it was Assam.
It was
name.
Again, we didn't have a galaxy of leadership there also. We needed to pick, and we found that he fits.
But right from the beginning, the message was very clear that Sarbanda is the guy who's.
I don't think so. When we decided him to be the campaign committee, it wasn't that it was decided 10 months before the election. It all happened few months before the election, and so let's wait. It is 10 months down the line before the elections of Uttar Pradesh is going to happen. If there is to be a candidate who will be declared as a face, it will be decided by the parliamentary board. But I personally feel it's too early to raise that bogey.
I mean, you were attending the meetings of the party daily. Do you have a feeling that you're going to disclose the name of the chief ministerial candidate much before the elections?
I can't really say comment on it because I don't sit on that particular chair or that table where this kind of a decision is taken. Okay. But certainly those who are responsible, and they are highly responsible senior leaders of the party, they will be looking at all the strategy, and in that strategy they find that yes, the name has to be declared, they will be looking at it.
I heard the same reply from the BJP leaders when Bihar was going through the election time. During the campaign we were there, and almost every leader of the BJP was giving me the same answer, saying that it's going to be decided by the parliamentary board, and everybody came to know what happened in Bihar. So you didn't have a clear mandate on who the chief minister is going to be. So are we going to see something of a repeat of Bihar?
Well, why don't you say the repeat of Jharkhand, Haryana and Maharashtra? We didn't declare a name. No. We gave the same answer to all the journalists who were asking who's going to, please, who's going to be the face of the BJP in Haryana, who's going to be the face in Jharkhand, who's going to be the face in Maharashtra. We said the parliamentary board will decide. And then in the end, when we went into the election, we said we haven't got a face. The party is contesting and we won those elections. So that's also a good example. Why look at Bihar only?
But many would say that it's almost similar to what happened in Bihar if you look at the scenario currently.
I don't think so. The Bihar politics and Uttar Pradesh politics, it will be a mistake if somebody tries to put them on the same table and then make an analysis, then that person will certainly go wrong.
Another trouble which I would say for the BJP is Varun Gandhi. At the National Executive, we saw his posters plastered across the city, and many people told us that, apparently Modi ji didn't like this fact that his name came up and was projected as a chief minister. And so how would you really tackle the situation like that?
Let's not push the envelope too far in this case also. Varun Gandhi, because he belongs to the Gandhi family, there is a kind of support base, and he has his own supporters. In enthusiasm, they put a lot of his hoardings and posters. But at the same time, I would say at times when these enthusiast supporters do something like that, they don't realize that they can, rather than doing good for their leader, they can do harm for the leader. So I would rather say that it is not looking at Varun Gandhi per se. The supporters did it, but where it needed to be checked by Varun Gandhi himself, that has been done.
But reports coming like Varun Gandhi didn't attend the dinner meeting which was hosted by Allahabad MP Shamacharan Gupta. So these were all ways and means to express resentment. Then another fact that Shamacharan Gupta had been telling Varun Gandhi not to project himself. Despite all that, he went ahead.
Well, I don't know what Shamacharan Gupta...
Doesn't it look like a premeditated plan?
No, I don't know what Shamacharan Gupta ji has been telling Varun Gandhi. But all I can say that you have conveniently picked up Varun Gandhi's name who didn't attend. There were 5 other members of parliament who didn't attend the dinner that evening. So let's have the 4 others also, rather than having one as Varun Gandhi.
But the other 4 were not projected as a CM candidate.
Well, nobody is projecting as a CM candidate.
But he projected himself.
But let's understand. I personally feel, I don't say from the party side, but I personally feel it will be wrong on the media to analyze through the hoardings and posters that because somebody has too many hoardings and posters is the CM candidate, or the party can decide based on the hoardings and posters put by the supporters, which is very, very simple. Let me put there, you don't need 1,000 or 10,000 supporters. You can have 10 supporters only and you can still have a lot of posters. It costs money only. So that is not the way a party like BJP is going to decide on a CM face.
But there were also, I wouldn't call it, I don't know how to put it. It's not going to be a rumor. It's just that what we heard internally from the people within the BJP, I'm not going to name them, but they did state the fact that probably if a situation like this goes beyond a point, then Varun Gandhi probably would be forced again to form a separate party, and that would result in the splitting of votes for the BJP.
I said in the beginning, when you started discussing Varun Gandhi, let's not push the envelope too far, and certainly nothing like that is going to happen.
So at least he's not a trouble for the party at the moment.
Why should we be looking that he's a trouble for a party? He's a member of parliament. He's a member of parliament. No, nothing. Why should all of us have a challenge in front of us, including Varun Gandhi, to have our government formed in 2017 in Uttar Pradesh, and that's the challenge we are looking at it.
No, probably he's looking for something big. So probably you have an across the table talk.
If somebody has an ambition in politics, there's nothing wrong. But certainly, all of us put together are looking at one challenge, and that is to have a BJP government in Uttar Pradesh.
But was there a decision in the National Executive taken on the lines of the fact that probably it's going to be a Lok Sabha MP who's going to be projected as the chief ministerial candidate? There were reports doing the round, but there's nothing decided on that.
I don't know from where it came in the media that who the BJP will decide MP to be the chief minister candidate. I don't know because National Executive doesn't discuss this. I have been in National Executive.
So you're saying that the reports were wrong?
Absolutely wrong. We don't discuss anything like that, and you don't discuss it in such a large platform. And I have been seeing many of National Executives for the last, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 years.
Okay, now before we wind up the show, I'm going to ask you one question, and that is on your prospects. You were denied the Phulpur ticket in 2014 elections. You've been a hard worker for the party. We've seen you over the years, how you've energized the cadres. Probably your name also could be there in the chief ministerial race.
I don't think so.
And Sidharth is going to be as a silent worker like ever.
No, the party, you see, the way I look at it, the party and the senior leaders who are sitting are the architects. They know what is best for each worker individually and for the party, and in those slots, they, as good architects, engineer us to be there. Our jobs is then to drive the party in that slot. So whatever slot the party gives to me, they are the architects. As good engineers, I will do all the whatever is required, whether it's a structural engineering required or plumbing required, I'll do that job.
Well, loads of hard work. Wish you all the best. And as they say that the road to Delhi is via Lucknow, so we'll look forward to it. Thank you so much, Sidharth, for coming on To The Point. That's it on this episode of To The Point. See you next time with another personality. Goodbye and thanks for watching.